Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm April Honey, and if you're new here, welcome. If you enjoy content like this, I would encourage you to hit the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today we're going to be working on a flower path. It's going to be a little bit leafy and it's going to have flowers. This island is a Valentine's Day island, so I was really excited to bring in like a little pink and white flower path situation. If you decide to make this path, I would love to know about it, but let's get started. As always, the first thing we're doing is setting our color palette. The green that I'm using is to match the spring grass. So I used the green that is right next to yellow, and that kind of brings out a little bit of a springy kind of feel to it. The saturation is right around the middle, and the brightness is really dependent on you. It depends on how much you want the leaves to stand out from the grass. So if I were you, I would just play with it. And I just set a flat background because we're going to play with that a little bit later. We're going to pixelate it and everything. The first thing I'm doing is I'm going to make some flowers. I decided on this shape of flower because I think it would be really cute on this island. And we're going to play with the colors just a little bit so I can make those flowers pop a little bit and make sure that they, I don't know, I just wanted them to look pretty and textured, and you know what I mean? I wanted them to kind of stand out. So this is the flower that I'm using for the white flowers. For the pink flowers, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I wanted to have kind of roses or like rosebuds. It is a Valentine's Day island, so that's just what I chose for flower. I've made several different kinds of flowers. So if you really are into checking out the different kinds, you can use daisies, you can use any kind of flower. I'm usually pretty stuck with daisies because that is my birth month flower and I'm a little addicted to them. But this time I decided to kind of step out of my box a little bit. The first thing I did was I set the center of the rosebud, which makes it kind of easier to work out from there. And then right under the darkest part, I put the highlight, the lightest part. So the rose, if you look at it, it always has this little lip that comes out in the front, and that was my reasoning for that. I wanted to accentuate that, and then it always fades into a darker color right underneath it. So basically I was just looking at a bouquet of flowers and drawing what I saw as close as I could in pixel form. I did want to have it really full and just look really pretty and flowery as I'm walking by it. I don't know where I'm going to use this path yet, but I just wanted to have it. And then we're going to make these tiny little flower buds or these tiny little flowers throughout. So that way it ends up being a very full path. I know it looks a little bit funny right now. You just kind of have to trust the process and move along, and you just know that it's going to come out good in the end. I always get stuck right in the middle around this part, and I know you guys can relate to this where I'm like, it's not coming out the way I want it to. Oh my gosh, forget this noise, it's awful. But you have to trust the process and know that by the time you're done, it's going to be stunning. Don't give up on it because you can always make adjustments, but you can't recapture what you've lost. And sometimes when you do things over and over again, you get discouraged and you don't do as well as you did the first time. What I'm doing is I'm making a little bit of shadows and vines leading from one flower to another, and already it's starting to look a lot better. I just wanted some flowers, some leafage, and some vines and stems coming out from the flowers, and that's the texture that I'm creating right now. I went through with the mid-tone first, and then I'm going to go through with the dark tone. So all I'm doing right now is kind of placing where I want leaves to be, where I want them to appear. And then I'm going to go in and do the deep shadows with the darkest tone. And I use those a little bit more sparingly because they're dark, right? And we don't want the path to be super dark. Well, I don't anyways. I just use this as a way to make the flowers pop, because when you use that dark tone underneath it, it does pull up the flower a little bit, which for me, I just love the way that looks. If you have a different preference, then I would encourage you to do it the way that you prefer. This is all about you. These are your islands and your expression of yourself. What I'm doing is merely a suggestion. You don't have to do it the way I do it. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to pixelate this. I'm going to kind of cut out the leaves and, just make it that much more natural looking when it lays on the ground. Mind you, this path looks absolutely terrible on canvas. It does. It looks awful on canvas. But when you lay it down, it is gorgeous. So just take away where you think that there's not going to be greenery. And that's kind of what I did. And I chipped away at it a little bit at a time. I didn't make these big, huge cuts. I went back and I checked it, and then I did more, and then I checked it again. And I just wanted it to look like foliage around the flowers. So we did heavily pixelate it, but I wanted to leave where the flowers would be kind of connecting with the green, but take away anything else, right? Anything that looked very flat, I was removing. And then I went back and I added some little finishing touches. Now remember, this first piece is the base for your entire code. So this is going to be the hardest piece that you do. After this, it is a piece of cake, I promise. It's super easy. But this code right here is hard. Now I'm going to go through and we're going to do the easy part. We're going to just chip away at the edges and shape this to make your edges of the path. And all I'm doing here is literally taking away what looks like whole flowers. I'm taking away whole flowers. We never cut flowers in half. And I'm deleting flowers that don't make it into the confines of the edge that I'm working with, right? So we're doing the top left corner. So I'm going to take away any flowers that don't fit into that area. And then I'm going to just adjust the foliage a little bit to fit with that, right? So that is what I did. I did add in another flower, and sometimes you'll see that you'll have to do that in order to like kind of, I don't know, just make it feel full or to fill out the edges. And then I'm doing the same thing on top. On the top and the bottom, you don't really have to do a lot of removal of the flowers just because they're the top and bottom pieces and you do kind of, stick close to the edge, right? So that is how it's looking so far. And then we're gonna move. I do check in between every piece to see how we're looking so far, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing to the top right corner. We're just going to go through and we're going to pixelate and remove the flowers that don't fit into the code. And it looks great. When it's done, it looks great. Trust your process, do what feels right to you. You don't have to plan your flowers to go around your edges. Just do your edges around what you did for flowers. So see, I did change out the flowers right there in order to make it fit a little bit better. And then we're doing the same thing on the bottom corner. We're just taking away the flowers that don't fit. And I think I added a little bit of pink to that bottom. I may or may not have, I don't remember now, because it was looking a little white, just a very white. And I think I might have added a pink one later on. But yeah, so then we're gonna do the bottom piece right here, and same thing, absolutely the same thing. Just take away what you don't need and keep the rest. This is so easy, you guys. Anyone can do it. After that first piece that you hem and haw over and spend all of your time on, it is the harder one. And I am going to get back to uploading all of my screenshots over in the Discord. So if you're interested in just copying it exactly as I have it, that'll be available to you in the Discord the day it launches, the day this code launches. So you'll be able to do that if you would like. I have no issues with that. No need to credit me or anything like that. I do these for you because I love to. And because it brings me great joy to help you guys unleash your own creativity. I love to see it. I absolutely do. But whether or not you want to share it is entirely up to you. No pressure. So we're just gonna go through and we're gonna delete the other side. I'm making single tile pieces because I like to have one directional one way or the other. I might do end caps, I'm not sure. But we're done. This is it. This is how it came out. Hopefully you guys like it. I know you guys could be doing absolutely anything in the entire world, and the fact that you're sitting here and playing this game here with me means the entire world to me. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.